All right, good morning. Hey, good morning. It's Huntington disease Todd. As promised, I'm trying this again. My live stream the other day, I wasn't totally excited about it, how it all turned out, but nonetheless, it did get started. Some comments that I got early on with the whole process is that some folks are asking about my. I'm going to turn that up just a little. People are asking about my what year, how old I am in my CAG. I'm going to put this bulletin board behind me here. So what it tells you is it tells you that I'm 64 years old. I'm close to 64. I actually turned 64 this year, 2026 in June. I have a 41 CAG, and then that 12 years symptoms. That's how long I've been experiencing them. So I got tested when I was 52, and so I guess you could say, you know, 12 years knowing that I have symptoms. And this is what I'm at now, or what I'm like today after 12 years. So good, bad, or indifferent. And then that bottom, and then this could change. What's happening in the HD brain? I put that on the sign as well behind me because this is kind of like, if you want to say it, our bulletin board, and I'll be able to change that, and I'll work on getting it to where it's more perfect. But right now, it'll tell you every day. So this is episode 1. So if you're here, congratulations, and if you're not, you watch it later. This is Monday, and I'm not going to guess. It's somewhere after the 14th of February because we just celebrated Valentine's Day. So it could be the 16th today. So anyway, I have Huntington's disease, and I wanted to put these videos out this year because this year I just feel like my brain is getting worse than it was a few years back. So I wanted to take some time to just record some things for the prosperity of it all. Now, today I'm talking about what's happening in the HD brain because, I look at websites, of course, for Huntington's folks that either they're support groups or they're information groups or they are whatever kind of group you want it to be. But those groups are also, I hear questions or concerns and questions and things like that. And a lot of times I can just hear the frustration from the people that do the caregiving. All right. And I totally get it. We can be unreasonable. We can be difficult. We can be a pain. But one thing that I saw that will help understand this a little better, early on in the discovery of Huntington's, they discovered that it kind of reduces the part of our brain that is called the caudate. The caudate's in the center of the brain, and that's where a lot of functions of our lives happen. So when the caudate starts getting damaged, which it happens to us, Huntington's patients, that's when we start having problems with all the things and skills of our lives, whether it be, getting motivated to go do things, getting up, getting out, that sort of thing. One time I was watching a video on YouTube, and it was called "The World's Smartest Dog." It was a CBS or a 60 Minutes show that I watched, and I'm going to show it, just a little clip from it on my phone. And the thing about this is this really shows what happens with a dog, and I just want to explain it from the standpoint. Dogs get super excited when they see their owner or their master, right? They get super excited when we come home. They love to see us and that sort of thing. They did some research on the dog's brain and they found out why that is. And I want to share that video today with you guys. This is a dog going into an MRI, and I just want to show you what happens with the dog as he's being, tested. Okay, so we're going to watch just a second of this. And it's called "The Smartest Dog in the World," actually. That's the title of it on YouTube. If you ever want to watch the video, I suggest you do it. It's 15 minutes or whatever, and it just shows what the brain is capable of. And then I can just show you what the brain is discapable of as well. So let's watch this video. I might turn the volume up a little.
Okay, now you go up. Tigger certainly knows the drill.
That's good.
Once in the machine, he lies down and doesn't move. These scans are giving Dr. Burns the first glimpse at how a dog's brain actually works.
Now just check this out.
Of Tigger's brain that you're seeing.
Yeah, exactly. So we're slicing from top to bottom. we analyze them later to see which parts increase in response to the different signals.
While in the scanner, the dogs smell cotton swabs with different scents. First, the underarm sweat of a complete stranger. Next, the sweat of their owner. As Dr. Burns expected, when the dogs sniffed the swabs, the part of their brain associated with smell, an area right behind the nose, activated. It didn't matter what the scent was. But it was when the dogs got a whiff of their owner's sweat that another area of the brain was stimulated, the caudate nucleus, or reward center. Dr. Burns believes that means the dog is experiencing more than the good feeling that comes with.
So that's it, the caudate nucleus. I took that video and I wanted to make it more a part of this as a way to show it as a side screen. Now, maybe one day I'll, have the ability to do that. I'm sorry about the glare from the light and all that. I think you get the general idea. What's happening to us with Huntington's disease is that we are literally losing the caudate of our mind. That's very well known. If you look at any graphs that they show, I should have got a picture of one, but the brain of a Huntington's patient, the center part of our brain is black because that's a deterioration of the caudate. So that being said, that's what's happening to us right now. So some of the things that I hear is, my Huntington's, warrior won't do this, or they don't do this, or they, don't go to the clean themselves or go to the, do things. Anyway, we we can be ill-kept and something like that, but we can also be difficult. Just like that dog knows his owner, and when his nose smells it, his brain lights up at that caudate central part of it. So just imagine now that we don't have that ability. Our brain doesn't light up anymore when we see or smell or hear things. That caudate is so important, even to dogs. So, I know that when I come home, my dog just gets so excited, so turned on, and he just is she's so glad to see me. But I also know that somebody she smelled a year ago, if they come by, she'll equally know them. She doesn't get as excited for them as she does for me. My wife and I, right? Obviously, but so that's what's happening in the Huntington's disease brain. I hope that people see this that are even in the Huntington's disease community. People that are the psychologists, the people that are studying the disease, the people that are involved with, the advancement or the furtherment of this, because that caudate part of our brain, it's just hugely important. And as research has shown, it controls a lot of things. It controls how we, our emotions. It controls our level of anger, our level of excitement. So when your loved one seems like they're just droning on, or if they just seem like they're uninterested, or they don't have the same personality or the same zeal, or they don't have the same drive or the same get up and go, it truly is not even a function that we have anymore. So just imagine that you try to turn on a computer, for example, or we used to have computers that would run really slow after some years because they'd get infected with all these different viruses. That's how our brains are right now. We're starting to have an effect of that. Our brain is starting to run slower, and even to some degrees, it's not even starting up correctly. So the person that you love, their brain has got such a disconnect from everything else in our lives that it has become very challenging for us to communicate correctly, act correctly, and or be correctly. Now, I know that this is not going to be. I'm going to try to scoot over this way just a bit. This is not going to be probably, it's not going to solve a lot of the problems that you're having with your loved one, but it might give you an insight into what they're going through and what it's like, because we all are having these issues. Caregivers, spouses, friends, family. When you look at your Huntington's loved one, remember that no matter how we act, we got the same heart inside, but our computer or our brain is broken and it doesn't work correctly anymore. Try to step back, try to walk away, try to get breathing room. Sometimes when Wendy and I get to an impasse, and I'll call it an impasse because in all reality, in life, we do come to impasses. When we get into an impasse, though, sometimes the best thing or the easy, the most logical thing is to just get away from each other a little bit. So that's what I'd suggest you do. I'm going to try to do these videos more often, and maybe I'll have some topics suggested to me that you want to just know about. But I'm telling you what, this understanding of the caudate nucleus of our brain, the part of our brain that really is, it's like the computer central station of our mind. It's the part of our brain that sends out the signals to do. I'm just telling you, the emotional part of me is lessened. The loving part of me is lessened. My desire to plan and do executive functions, that's been gone for a long time. And some of the questions that people ask are, how long or what stage or how are you doing, this kind of thing. So here's where I'm at. I got diagnosed when I was 52. I worked pretty successfully till I was about 58. And then from 58 to now, 64, I would say that the 58 to 60, I was doing okay. From 60 to 62, I was able to do those earlier videos on Huntington's. And now I'm getting closer to 64. And it's become more apparent to me that, the things that I want to accomplish, maybe for my family and my loved ones, and the things that I want to try to get done, it's becoming more pressing to me that I need to do them. Now, I want to also just qualify this whole situation with the fact that I am very aware of my brain situation. I am fortunate in that I have Huntington's disease and my CAG is 41, and some might consider that to be on the lighter side of it. Sometimes it can be on the lighter side of it. Other times it's not. How you take care of your brain your whole life really will affect what happens in your future. But all that being said, your loved one, me, we're not trying to be difficult. We don't, but we're going to have this. Our brain is just going to give us so much more trouble. And as we get more into it, I kind of lost my train of thought there just a bit. But the bottom line is that as we get through this process, the Huntington's is going to take our brain away. And when it does, it's going to reflect badly on how we act. But it's also going to be hopefully a tool for you to understand that it's not anything that we can control. I just want everyone to know that Huntington's disease is not something that we get up in the morning and if we just work and pray and act hard enough against it, it's going to get better. I'm saying that in all sincerity. Oh, but the other point I was making is I do have Huntington's disease, but I don't have it nearly as bad as some. And I'm just telling those that have it worse than me or the caregivers that have to work with them, I feel and understand what you're going through. I had a grandfather that had it that was very, challenged with the situation that he was in. So what's happening in the HD brain? It's that caudate, and the caudate controls a lot. There's already studies about that, which everyone probably, you may or may not know. I shouldn't assume that read about it. Look at some pictures online. The part of the brain that's deteriorating. Sometimes we get caught up in taking care of people so much that we don't really know or understand or even, look into the research, or the research isn't, part of something we've ever had to even do. But if you look into that center part of the brain with Huntington's disease, you'll find out that that's exactly what's going on. But this is Huntington's disease, Todd. I want you to go to my YouTube page, which is listed right there on that screen as well. My Huntington's disease, Todd, is at YouTube. I have a lot of videos I did a year ago or two, and those videos are really, really uplifting and they're fulfilling. They have a lot of good information in them. I haven't recorded videos for the last several months. I'm sorry, but I'm back and I'm going to try to keep doing this. So this is the live stream for today. I'm getting near 15 minutes. I want to try to limit these so that I don't overcomplicate them or overcomplicate your life or your brain. I got some awesome comments for the first live stream I did, which was my test run, I'll call that. It was very challenging, and people reminded me of why and how much this means to them and to their family. So again, thank you for giving me the time. Huntington's disease, Todd, and I'm going to sign out for today.